Welcome guys, today we are diving into the 10 best chess openings that every chess player should know. The 10th place we have Panjani opening. Panjani opening starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, c3. This opening is less popular. Panjani opening considered less popular compared to other openings like Dai Lopez and Italian game. The move c3 can slow down white's development, particularly the development of dark squared bishop. The move c3 prepares to control the d4 square, potentially supporting the pawn on d4 in the future. Black often responds with d5 or knight f6, challenging white's central control and developing pieces. The Bonzani opening can lead to complex and sharp positions requiring careful play from both sides. White aims to control the center with pawns on e4 and d4, while black seeks to challenge his control. Both sides need to develop their pieces to achieve a strong position. Finally, the Panjari opening is interesting choice for players looking to divide the move from common openings. However, it requires to careful play and equalize or gain an advantage. I'll show you a cool trap in this opening. After knight f6, you play d4, striking the center. Black captures the free pawn on the white side, kicking the knight from defending the central pawn. Knight goes back, and you play knight into pawn, capturing the free pawn on the center. If black plays d6, kicking the knight, you play bishop b5 check. Bishop can't block because of bishop into check, and queen takes and knight takes, and we are queen up. So c6, and you takes the pawn. Queen comes b6 and attacking the bishop and threatening mate. You takes the pawn and gives the check. King goes to d8 and you play knight into pawn and fork the two pieces. King goes to c7 and you takes the rook and promoting to a knight. If you not promoting to a knight and promote to a queen, this leads to a checkmate. So you promote to a knight and this is a fork and you win the game. So that's all for Panjani opening. The next opening in our list is King's Gambit. The King's Gambit is a popular chess opening that starts with the move e4, e5, f4. The King's Gambit involves white sacrifice a pawn to develop quickly but pressure on black's position. King's Gambit is considered as an aggressive opening aiming to control the center and launch and shift attack. The King's Gambit can lead to a complex and sharp positions requiring careful play from both sides. Black can accept the gambit pawn with e into d4 or decline with d5 or d6, each leading to different strategic and tactical opportunities. The King's Gambit has been popular for centuries with many famous games and variations. White aims to develop pieces quickly with take advantage and of black's potential weaknesses. Control of the center is a crucial in the King's Gambit is it allow for greater mobility and attacking opportunities. Black structure can become complex with potential weakness and strengths for both sides. I show a cool trap in this King's Gambit opening. After f4, e into knight develops and d5, knight develops and d into e4, knight into, and when the bishop pins the knight to queen, play queen e7, and they blundered and take the knight means it's a big, and you play knight this and checkmate. They can't block with the queen because of double check, and the king cannot move because knight controls all the square of the king. And that's it for King's Gambit. The next opening in our list is Catalan opening. A Catalan opening is a popular opening which starts with d4, knight f6, c4, e6 and g3. Catalan opening. Catalan opening offers flexibility in pawn structure and piece development. White aims to control the center with pawns on d4 and c4, while black often challenges this control. The fianchetto bishop on g2 puts pressure on black's position and controls key squares. Catalan opening offers leads to positional play with a focus on long-term strategic advantages. Catalan opening can lead to favorable endgames for white, particularly if black pawn structure is compromised. White often aims to create a strong pawn center, while black seeks to challenge this control and create counterplay. A Catalan opening can put pressure on black's position, particularly on the queen side in the center. I show a cool trap in this Catalan opening. After d5, g2, bishop g2 and bishop check, knight blocks and they capture this pawn. This is a huge blunder. You play queen check and double attacking the bishop and king. The knight develops and blocks check and defending the bishop. And you play bishop into knight, remove the defender of the bishop and you queen to bishop. You are piece up in this position and you are completely winning. That's for Catalan opening. The next opening in our list is Vienna opening. Vienna opening starts with e4, e5, knight c3. Vienna opening offers flexibility in pawn structure and piece development. White aims to control the center with pawns and pieces, particularly the knight on c3. The Vienna opening allows for quick development of pieces, particularly the knights and bishop. The Vienna opening can lead to aggressive attacking play, particularly with the pawns from f4. Compared to other openings, Vienna opening has less theoretical knowledge required. White often aims to create a strong pawn. White black seeks to challenge the control. The Vienna opening emphasizes harmonious black piece development, particularly the knight and bishop. Vienna opening can create attacking opportunity, particularly on the king side. The Vienna opening is a dynamic and aggressive opening that can lead to a complex and attacking play. I'll show you a cool trap in this opening. After knight develops, you play f4. They takes and pawn push. The knight has no squares to go except back and then knight develops and they d6 d4. It captures the pawn means you play bishop and it captures the pawn with no worry about knight. You takes the pawn. And they need to capture the knight means you sacks the bishop. They can't take the bishop because of the queen is hanging. So kings come forward. You play queen is to check and king captures the bishop and knight check and king comes forward and bishop sack and king takes and that's a beautiful royal fork and you win the queen and you win the game. That's all for Vienna opening. Next opening in our list is Reti opening. Reti opening is hyper modern chess opening. Starts with knight f3, d5 and c4. Reti opening is a hyper modern opening focusing on controlling the center with pieces rather than pawns. Reti opening offers flexibility in pawn structure and pieces development. White aims to control the center with the pieces, particularly the knight on f3 and bishop on g2 after g3. The Reti opening often involves a slow build-up of pieces and pawns aiming to create a long-term pressure. Reti opening emphasizes personal play focusing on long-term strategic advantages. The Reti opening emphasizes harmonious piece development, particularly the knights and bishop. The white often create a flexible pawn structure. White can challenge black seeks to challenge white's control. Reti opening can put pressure on black position, particularly on the queen side in the center. Reti opening is versatile and strategic opening that can lead to a range of pawn structure and piece development. I show a cool trap in this opening. After knight develops, pawn push, bishop develops, it takes the pawn. Knight takes means is the mistake. You play e4, double attacking, but bishop takes the pawn. But it's queen check, double attacking the king and bishop. Knight blocks the check, and you takes the bishop, and you are piece up, and you are completely winning in this game. That's all for the opening. The next opening in our list is Railopus opening. Railopus opening starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6 and bishop b5. Railopus opening, also called Spanish game. Railopus opening allows white to control the center with pawns on e4 and potential d4. The Railopus opening enables quick development of pieces, particularly the bishop and knight. The Railopus offers flexibility in pawn structure and piece development. Railopus can lead to aggressive and attacking play, particularly on the king side. Railopus has a many vast and complex theoretical background with many variations and sub-variations. White often aims to create a strong pawn center while black seeks to challenge this control. The Railopus emphasizes harmonious piece development, particularly the bishop and knight. Railopus can put pressure on black's position, particularly on the queen side and in the center. The Railopus is the dynamic and aggressive opening that can lead to complex and aggressive play, make it the favorite among many chess players. I'll show a cool trap in this opening. Our knight develops, you castle, knight takes the free pawn, and you attack the knight, knight goes back, and you takes the pawn and prepare for a discover attack, knight into knight, and you knight develops, knight into bishop, ignore the knight and jump into center, rook into knight and gives check, bishop blocks, and knight jumps into attacking the bishop, the castles, who takes the knight and gives check, king goes inside, and you play queen and preparing for a attack the rook, and ignore the rook and sacks the queen, king into queen and rook check is a stunning checkmate. That's all for the Ilobus opening. The next opening in our opening list is Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit starts with d4, d5 and c4. The Queen's Gambit allows white to control the center and on d4 potentially c4. Queen's Gambit involves white offering a pawn to black which can be accept or decline. This moves decline variation. The Queen's Gambit often leads to strategic play with a focus on long-term advantages. The Queen's Gambit offers flexibility in pawn structures and piece development. The Queen's Gambit has a vast and complex theoretical background with many variations and sub-variations. White often aims to create a strong pawn structure while black seeks to stand this control. Queen's Gambit emphasizes harmonious piece development, particularly the knights and bishop. Queen's Gambit can put the pressure on black's position, particularly on queen's side in the center. Queen's Gambit is a versatile and strategic opening that can lead to a range of pawn structure and piece development, making it favorable among the many chess players. The Queen's Gambit decline variation setup is this is the Queen's Gambit decline variation setup. This is a good position and you have a winning advantage. If the black accepts the gambit means I show a cool trap in this opening. After it takes pawn push attacking the pawn, black defense, and you play a4 pawn push and takes an queen f3 and this the rook is trapped and you win the rook and you win the game. That's all for Queen's Gambit. The next opening in our list is Scotch game. The Scotch game is a popular chess opening. Starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. A Scotch game. Scotch game known for its aggressive and tactical nature, aiming to quickly develop pieces and attack black's position. The move d4 challenges black's control of the center, often leading to complex and dynamic play. Scotch game enables quick development of pieces, particularly the knights and bishop. The Scotch game lead to open lines and attacking opportunities, particularly on the d5. The Scotch game has a rich theoretical background with many variations and sub-variations. White often aims to create a strong pawn center, while black seeks to challenge the control. The Scotch game emphasizes rapid piece development, particularly knights and bishop. Scotch game create an attacking opportunity, particularly on the king side and in the center. Scotch game is a dynamic, aggressive opening that can lead to complex and attacking play, make it favored among many chess players. I'll show a cool trap in this opening. After pawn takes, you play bishop develop, bishop protecting the pawn, and you gambit another pawn. After takes, you sack the bishop, king takes, and you play queen check and double taking the bishop. King goes back and another check. After blocks, takes the bishop. After takes and takes, the the king's castling right is gone, and the bishop is so much powerful along the weak diagonal. This is completely winning for you. That's all for Scots game. The next opening in our list is Italian game. The Italian game is a popular chess opening. Starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, and c3. The Italian game known for its aggressive and tactical nature, aiming to quickly develop pieces and attack black's position. The Italian game enables quick development of pieces, particularly the bishops and knight. The Italian game can create attacking opportunities, particularly on the king side in the center. The Italian game offers flexibility in the structure and piece development. The Italian game has rich theoretical background with many variations and sub-variations. White often aims to create a strong pawn center while black seeks to challenge this control. The Italian game emphasizes rapid piece development, particularly the bishop and knight. The Italian game can put pressure on black's position, particularly on the king side in the center. The Italian game is dynamic and aggressive opening that can lead to complex and attacking play, make it a favorite among many chess players. I'll show a cool trap in this opening. After knight develops, you play d4, striking the center, pawn takes, recaptures, bishop check, and knight blocks, knight into pawn. You can't take it because of the spin. So you castle, knight into knight, pawn into bishop into pawn, and bishop a3, a genius move, sacking the rook. Bishop into rook means rook check, knight blocks force, rook into knight, king goes and takes the pawn and check, king goes and rook slides over and the double checkmate. That's all for Italian game. In our list, the first opening is the London system. The London system comes after d4, d5, bishop f4, controlling the g8 to h2 diagonal. The London system known for its solid and flexible nature, allowing for a range of pawn structure and piece developments. The London system often leads to strategic play with a focus on long-term advantages. Compared to other openings, the London system has theoretical knowledge required. The London system involves a slow build-up of pieces and pawns aiming to create long-term pressure. The London system can be played against various black defenses. White often aims to create a strong pawn center, while black seeks to challenge this control. And the system emphasizes harmonious piece development, particularly the bishop and knight. The system can put pressure on black's position, particularly on the queen side and in the center. The system is a versatile and strategic opening that can lead to a range of pawn structures and piece developments. I'll show you the basic London system. Knight develops, You play e3, ready to develop the light squared bishop. E6, developing the bishop and controlling the diagonal. Knight f3, controlling the central squares. Castles, knight develops. Whenever your opponent plays c5, you play c3. Build up the pyramid of pawns and solidify the position. Knight c6. This is the basic London system. Knight jumps into the center. Bishop develops. Queen f3. Attacking. Queen f3. Ready to attack in the king side. Rook c8 and rook h. And you play Queen h3. You have more attacks on the king side. You can play either short castle or long castle or g5 and g6 and attack the knight and the bishop controlling the long diagonal and knight comes in and attack the king side. There are more attacks on the king side. I'll show you a cool little trap in the London system. After bishop f4, knight develops. Whenever your opponent plays c5, play c3, knight develops, and you play e3, opening the long diagonal for the bishop. Your opponent plays bishop and then pinning the knight to the queen. Develop the knight. Opponent plays e6, ready to develop the bishop. Play a quiet move, queen a4. Your opponent plays bishop d6 and want to trade the bishops. You play a move bishop a6, sacking the bishop. Your opponent captures and you captures the knight and you have so many attacks. The king, bishop and rook is fork. So your opponent plays king forward, queen check. Opponent king goes back and you have so many attacks and you have knight up and you're completely winning in this position. That's all for 10 best chess openings. If you want all the openings separate video, comment below. Let me know in the comments.